Chantel Everett has never been a stranger to public attention. From her explosive debut on 90 Day Fiancé to her deeply personal journey through love, heartbreak, and self-discovery, Chantel's life has unfolded under the unforgiving glare of reality television and social media. Yet even her most loyal fans were unprepared for the announcement that would once again place her at the center of headlines. The news broke quietly at first, almost mysteriously before spreading like wildfire across social platforms. A single post, subtle, intimate, and undeniably romantic, was all it took to ignite speculation. Within hours, fan pages, entertainment blogs, and gossip forums were buzzing with the same question: when did this happen, and how did we not see it coming? For a woman whose love life has been so publicly dissected, the secrecy surrounding this engagement felt intentional. It wasn't just an announcement, it was a statement. Chantel first captured viewers' attention as a young woman navigating international love, cultural clashes, and intense family dynamics. Her relationship struggles were raw, sometimes chaotic, and always emotional. Over the years, audiences watched her mature, from a hopeful romantic into a woman determined to reclaim her narrative. Public breakups have a way of reshaping people. For Chantel, they became catalysts for growth. She pursued her career with renewed focus, strengthened her independence, and gradually shifted how much of her private life she was willing to share. Fans noticed the change. Fewer impulsive posts, more confidence, and a calm that hadn't always been there before. So when Ashley Bowen entered her life, it wasn't with fanfare, it was with friendship. Unlike past relationships that unfolded rapidly and publicly, Chantel and Ashley's bond developed slowly. Sources close to the couple suggest that they first connected through mutual friends, bonded by shared values rather than instant chemistry. There were no flashy dates plastered online, no dramatic declarations of love. Instead, there were long conversations, mutual respect, and something far more rare in the celebrity world: privacy. Ashley Bowen, known for being grounded and media shy, seemed to offer Chantel something she had been missing: stability without control, affection without chaos. Friends describe Ashley as deeply supportive and emotionally intelligent, someone who listened more than they spoke. What began as friendship gradually transformed into something deeper. For months, the two were spotted together casually. Group dinners, quiet outings, low-key appearances that didn't scream romance. Fans speculated, but nothing was confirmed. Chantel, for once, said nothing, and that silence spoke volumes. Those close to the couple say the foundation of their relationship was built on trust and understanding. Ashley became Chantel's confidant during moments of stress and reflection, especially as Chantel navigated life after reality TV fame. Unlike previous partners, Ashley never tried to compete with Chantel's spotlight. Instead, they stood beside her, steady and unwavering. Every love story has a moment when everything changes. For Chantel and Ashley, that moment reportedly came during a private getaway, far from cameras, far from fans. It wasn't dramatic or staged. It was quiet, honest, and deeply personal. Friends say that was when both realized this wasn't just another chapter. It was the beginning of a new book. From that point on, the bond deepened rapidly. Conversations about the future became serious. Values aligned. Goals matched. Love followed naturally. When Ashley Bowen finally proposed, it wasn't under flashing lights or in front of a crowd. It was intimate, just the two of them. A carefully chosen moment that reflected the nature of their relationship. Chantel said yes without hesitation. The ring itself was elegant, understated, and meaningful, much like the love story behind it. Once the engagement became public, reactions poured in. Some fans were stunned. Others were emotional. Many expressed happiness that Chantel had finally found peace. While much of the public conversation has focused on Chantel Everett, curiosity around Ashley Bowen has grown just as quickly. Unlike Chantel, Ashley did not rise to fame through reality television or public drama. And perhaps that is exactly what made their connection so powerful. Ashley Bowen is known among close friends as private, thoughtful, and deeply grounded. Not driven by fame or public validation, Ashley's life before Chantel revolved around career goals, close friendships, and personal growth. Those who knew Ashley long before the engagement describe someone who values emotional honesty over appearances. In an era where relationships are often curated for social media, Ashley's reluctance to overshare stood in sharp contrast to Chantel's earlier experiences. This difference, rather than creating tension, became a source of balance. Ashley didn't try to fix Chantel. Ashley didn't try to control the narrative. Ashley simply showed up. For Chantel, public heartbreak had left scars that went far deeper than fans realized. Every past relationship had been dissected, judged, and debated by strangers. Trust became difficult. Vulnerability felt risky. Ashley understood this instinctively. Rather than pushing Chantel to open up, Ashley allowed space. Conversations unfolded naturally, without pressure. There were no ultimatums, no rushed expectations. Love developed slowly, rooted in safety rather than intensity. Friends noticed a change in Chantel during this period. She laughed more freely. She seemed calmer, more present. For the first time in years, she wasn't performing happiness. She was living it. What truly set this relationship apart was its foundation of friendship. Chantel and Ashley spent countless hours simply talking about fears, goals, family, and the kind of life they wanted to build. They weren't chasing a fantasy version of love. They were building something real. Ashley supported Chantel's ambitions without overshadowing them. Chantel, in turn, respected Ashley's need for privacy. This mutual understanding created a dynamic that felt equal, not competitive. Over time, it became clear to those closest to them. This wasn't temporary. The secrecy wasn't accidental, it was intentional. Chantel made a conscious decision to protect this relationship from public interference. No cryptic posts, no paparazzi-friendly outings, no interviews hinting at romance. This time, she chose peace over publicity. By the time fans realized something serious was happening, the relationship was already deeply rooted. The engagement announcement didn't mark the beginning of their love story. It revealed one that had been quietly thriving. When Ashley proposed, it symbolized more than romance. It represented trust rebuilt. The proposal was simple but deeply meaningful. No spectacle. No audience. Just sincerity. Those close to Chantel say she was overwhelmed. Not by surprise, but by certainty. After years of instability, she finally felt sure. Saying yes wasn't just agreeing to marriage. It was choosing a future free from chaos. Interestingly, while fans reacted loudly, many people within the entertainment industry responded quietly. Messages of congratulations came privately, not publicly. This reflected the tone of Chantel and Ashley's relationship: intimate, respectful, and grounded. Several insiders noted how different this engagement felt compared to Chantel's past. There was no controversy, no rushed timeline, no red flags. Just two people choosing each other. Healing doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like consistency. Ashley Bowen became a steady presence in Chantel's life during moments when she questioned herself the most. That support didn't fade when things became difficult. It strengthened. For Chantel, this relationship wasn't about rewriting her past. It was about learning from it. She didn't hide her scars from Ashley. Ashley didn't run from them. Instead, they built a partnership that acknowledged pain without being defined by it. As this story comes to a close, one thing becomes unmistakably clear. Chantel Everett's engagement to Ashley Bowen is not just another celebrity headline. It is the culmination of a journey marked by growth, healing, and intentional love. For years, audiences watched Chantel navigate relationships that unfolded under intense public scrutiny. Every argument, every misunderstanding, every heartbreak became entertainment for millions. That kind of exposure can distort love, turning something deeply personal into a public spectacle. And And yet, through it all, Chantel never stopped believing in the possibility of something better. This engagement represents that belief finally being rewarded. What makes this moment so powerful is not the ring, the announcement, or even the surprise itself. It's the contrast. The contrast between who Chantel was then and who she is now. Between relationships built on urgency and one built on patience. Between love that demanded attention and love that offered peace. Ashley Bowen entered Chantel's life quietly, without fanfare or expectation. And sometimes the quietest entrances leave the deepest impact. In a world obsessed with visibility, Chantel chose privacy. In a culture that glorifies drama, she chose calm. In a space where love is often rushed, she chose intention. That choice changed everything. Fans may have been shocked by the announcement, but in hindsight, the signs were there. Chantel's demeanor softened. Her confidence grew steadier. Her presence online became more grounded. Happiness, when it's real, doesn't need constant validation. And that may be the most important lesson this love story offers. Ashley Bowen didn't arrive to save Chantel or redefine her. Instead, they stood beside her, supporting her evolution, respecting her boundaries, and allowing love to grow naturally. Their relationship wasn't fueled by chaos or controversy. It was nurtured through trust, communication, and shared values. That kind of love rarely makes noise, but it lasts. As Chantel steps into this new chapter, the engagement feels less like a sudden twist and more like a long overdue resolution. A reminder that healing is not linear, but it is possible. That love doesn't have to hurt to be real. And that sometimes the right person comes. Not when we're searching desperately, but when we're finally ready. For fans who have followed Chantel's story from the very beginning, this moment carries emotional weight. It feels like watching someone you've rooted for finally exhale. Finally rest. Finally choose happiness without apology. And perhaps that's why the reaction has been overwhelmingly supportive. This engagement isn't about proving anything to the public. It isn't about reclaiming a narrative. It isn't about returning to reality TV glory. It's about two people choosing each other, fully, honestly, and privately. As Chantel and Ashley move forward, questions about the future will inevitably follow. Will there be a wedding soon? Will cameras be involved? Will Chantel return to television? Those answers will come in time, or perhaps they won't. And that's okay. Because for the first time, Chantel's happiness doesn't depend on public approval. It exists independently, strong, grounded, and protected. This story reminds us that love doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives with peace. And peace after everything is the most beautiful ending of all. So as we close this chapter, one thing is certain. Chantel Everett's journey is far from over. But it's finally headed in the right direction. And that may be the biggest surprise of all.